Hello students, welcome to virtual classroom. So today we'll start with second video of chapter number 7 from science 2, that is flow of energy in an ecosystem. In the first video we have seen food chain, food web, then different types of consumers, that is primary, secondary and tertiary consumers. Then we have seen how the energy flow in an ecosystem. Then we have seen different trophic levels, and we have seen the role of decomposers. Now today we will see the next part of this chapter, that is biogeochemical cycle. Now what is biogeochemical cycle? The cyclic flow of nutrients within an ecosystem is called biogeochemical cycle. And there are two types of biogeochemical cycles, mainly gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. Now, first of all, the nutrients. Nutrients necessary for the growth of organisms are continuously transferred from biotic to abiotic factor, and from again biotic to abiotic factor within an ecosystem. So this is a cyclic process, and this cycle operates continuously through the medium of biosphere. And how biosphere is formed? It is formed by lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. So the cycling of biological and geological plus chemical sources of nutrients in this process, which is a very which makes this process very complex, and it depends upon the level of energy transfer in an ecosystem. So there are mainly two types of biogeochemical cycles. So the term biogeochemical tells us that biological, geological and chemical factors are involved. And in earth science, a biogeochemical cycle is a process in which a chemical substance moves through both biotic and abiotic compartments of the earth. So this is a series of cyclic change which is repeated one after the other, and there is interaction of hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. So this interaction leads to development of various cycles in the on the earth. So these are gaseous and sedimentary. Now first we will see about gaseous cycle. Now the term gaseous cycle refers to the transformation of gases between various geochemical reservoirs. And what are these reservoirs? These are hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So there is an accumulation of main abiotic gaseous nutrient materials which is found in the earth atmosphere. Therefore these gaseous cycle includes nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, carbon cycle and water cycle. What they include? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and water cycle. Now if you see sedimentary cycle, then sedimentary cycle includes the leaching of minerals and salts from the earth crust, which settles as sediment or in the form of rock before the cycle repeats. So it is an accumulation of main abiotic nutrient material which is found in the soil, sediment and sedimentary rocks of the earth, and it includes components like iron, calcium, phosphorus, sulfur, etc. So sedimentary cycle vary from one element to another, but each cycle consists of different fundamental phases. Now main difference between the two cycles is in gaseous there is accumulation of gaseous nutrient material, while in sedimentary there is accumulation of non-gaseous abiotic nutrient material. So the gaseous cycle is a speedier cycle than the sedimentary cycle. Gaseous cycle takes place with more speed than the sedimentary or sedimentation cycle. Like if CO2, that is carbon dioxide, has accumulated in the air, then it is quickly dispersed with the wind or absorbed by plants. Understood? And climatic changes and human activities seriously affect the speed, intensity and the balance of these cycles. That is the equilibrium of these cycles. So now we'll come to first carbon cycle, then we will study oxygen cycle, and then we will study nitrogen cycle. Now carbon cycle, it is how it is defined, or what is carbon cycle? The circulation and recycling of carbon from the atmosphere to living organisms and after their death back to the atmosphere is called carbon cycle. Abiotic carbon atoms are circulated and recycled into biotic, mainly by through the process of photosynthesis and respiration. So in case of carbon cycle, these two processes, that is respiration and photosynthesis, are playing main, or you can say major role. So here you can see the picture of carbon cycle where plants, they take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and by the process of photosynthesis they convert that carbon dioxide into food, that is the carbohydrate, and they produce carbon compounds like proteins and fats also. Now herbivores means animals which feed on plants. So these herbivores, they feed upon plants. Even carnivores feed upon herbivores. Again, this is a food web. One is dependent on the other. So in this way, biotic carbon is transported from plants to herbivores, and from herbivores to carnivores, and from carnivores to apex consumers. So this all happens in a cyclic manner. So the plants, they are utilizing CO2, or they are taking CO2 from the atmosphere. Even animals respire and they release CO2 in the atmosphere. So that is also taken up by the plant. Now plant, or you can say the plant in turn removes or gives out oxygen into the atmosphere, right? Even factories, they release lots of fuel which is in the form of carbon dioxide. So lots of carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere, which is fixed by plants, means which is taken up by the plants. And then after death of all types of consumers, means these plants will be eaten up by primary consumers, then primary consumers will be eaten up by secondary, and secondary by apex consumers. So ultimately, after death of the apex consumers, means all types of consumers, they will be decomposed by decomposers. And what are these decomposers? They are nothing but bacteria and fungi. And they then release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now this released carbon dioxide into the atmosphere is used again by living organism. So what happens? This is a cyclic way in which carbon is continuously passed from one living organism to the another. And after the death of all living organism, carbon goes to the atmosphere again. And again it is taken up by the living organism. So this is cyclic process. Now the main process which are involved in this carbon cycle are photosynthesis and cellular respiration. So what is photosynthesis? This is the synthesis of glucose or food by the plants with using water and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in the presence of sunlight. So plant synthesize carbohydrate or food plus releases oxygen. And this all takes place in green part of the plant, that is the leaves. Leaves contain chlorophyll, which is a photosynthetic pigment. So it synthesizes food. Now what is photosynthesis? It is a chemical process performed by plants. And in this process, plants take CO2 from the air and water from the soil and use the energy from sunlight to produce glucose and oxygen. And a green pigment called chlorophyll helps in capturing of sunlight which is needed for this reaction. So the glucose which is synthesized here is used as energy for the plants, and oxygen is released into the atmosphere, which is utilized by us, by animals, for the process of respiration. So that CO2 which is released by, that oxygen which is released by plant, it is utilized by us. So with the help of food and oxygen, what we exhale? Carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide again goes back to the atmosphere. So this is how the carbon cycle operates in an ecosystem. So let's sum up today's lecture. After death of all types of consumers by decomposers, they are decomposed. Means all dead bodies, they are decomposed by decomposers, and they release carbon dioxide which into the atmosphere, which is used again by living organisms. Thus carbon is continuously passed from one living organism to another, and oxygen which is released by photosynthesis process, while CO2 through respiration. So though there is a balance or equilibrium of oxygen and CO2 gases in the atmosphere, and this equilibrium is maintained by plants. So plants are playing an important role in this carbon cycle. Later we will see the role of plants in again oxygen cycle. So this is all about today's lecture. In next lecture we will study oxygen cycle and nitrogen cycle. I hope you might have understood today's topic. Just go through the slides, listen to my lecture 2 to 3 times, understand and make your notes. Okay then students, goodbye, take care.